Hello, very good day to you. It's a bit breezy and also rather chilly out there today, but for many of us there are some decent sunny spells. At the moment we have an area of low pressure just to the northwest of the UK, and this is doing a few things. You can see tightly packed isobars indicating that we have those breezy, blustery winds I mentioned, and also notice around the low pressure we are dragging our winds from a northwesterly direction, a polar direction. As a result, we do have some chilly air across the UK, which is why temperatures are a little bit below average for the time of year. We have a few showers as we go through the next 24 hours or so, but it's into Tuesday when we see a spell of wet and windy weather pushing its way up from the southwest. That leads us into a rather unsettled theme through much of this week, but we are also going to drag in some milder air from the southwest, and so temperatures are going to rise through the next couple of days to become a little bit above average for the time of year. Back to the here and now though, and like I said, there are some showers as we go through the rest of Monday, particularly across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. Here the showers are quite frequent, and over the higher ground of Scotland I am expecting some sleet or snow. Elsewhere a few showers are possible, many of these easing as we go through the day, and actually across the bulk of England and Wales largely dry and some decent sunshine too. Like I said though at the start, there is a chilly feel to things, especially when you factor in those breezy winds and temperatures a little bit below average for the time of year. Yes, we'll get into double figures towards the south, highs of around 11 Celsius here, but elsewhere most places staying in single figures, particularly across northern areas, just mid-single figures for some parts here. Later on, as we go through the evening and overnight, the showery outbreaks of rain push their way a bit further south and eastward, so across much of Scotland for a time, and then across parts of England and Wales we are likely to see some showery outbreaks and further showers then through the early hours across particularly western parts of Scotland, and these could still have a wintry element to them, particularly over any higher ground. In between any showery outbreaks though, we will see some breaks in the cloud, and so under those spells of starry skies we're likely to see temperatures dipping just a little bit, and so many places falling into mid-single figures, and across northern areas we could get to around, if not a little bit below freezing, and so some patchy frost, a few icy patches you could wake up to first thing on Tuesday morning. Otherwise though, on Tuesday our attention is really turning to the wet and windy weather that's going to sweep its way in from the southwest. Some persistent rain as we start the day across parts of southwest England and parts of Wales. That's then going to feed its way northeastwards across much of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and reaching the far south of Scotland as we go later on into the afternoon. To the north of this though, staying dry, albeit still a few showers for parts of Scotland, particularly across Orkney and Shetland. Best of the sunshine though will be across much of Scotland. Elsewhere quite a cloudy theme and those strong winds too. With that though, we are dragging in that milder air I mentioned at the start, and so whilst in the north we are going to keep with a chilly feel, temperatures staying mid-single figures, in the south turning milder, so highs of around 13 or 14 Celsius. As we go later on Tuesday evening, we are going to stick with the largely cloudy and pretty wet theme across much of the UK. The more persistent rain by this point will be across northern England, far southern parts of Scotland, and perhaps parts of Northern Ireland too. Further south, the rain will be turning a bit more showery, a bit more outbreaks of rain, but could still be quite heavy at times. Notice some heavier bursts across Wales, and all the time across much of central northern Scotland staying mostly dry, just a few showers continuing across the far north. As we look later on in the week, and the unsettled theme looks set to continue at least through Wednesday and Thursday, so most of us will see some rain at times, and that could be heavy, particularly on Thursday. That's when we're likely to see some impactful rain. With all that though, it is going to be generally mild, albeit with perhaps some chillier nights, and then that brings the chance of seeing some fog patches at times too. Then likely by Friday we'll see more prolonged spells of drier weather, so something perhaps to look forward to for some of us. If you are interested in the week ahead forecast in a bit more detail, then do check out our YouTube video, which will be available later on with Annie. Otherwise, I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.